Good afternoon, everybody, on this wet, rainy, miserable afternoon. Doesn't matter though, because I just want to wish Carol Ashton happy birthday. Hope you're okay. And I have got cake here. I've got my gluten-free fruit cake. So yeah, I'm gonna munch to that as we're going. And cup of tea wise today, I've got a cold cup of tea, which is kiwi, lime, and mint. Sounds a bit weird, but actually it's quite nice. So all set up and gearing to go. As you can see, regular tile. I've got a lovely grey one here, and I've already put a little bit of inking on it. Of course, you don't have to. You can leave it blank, or you can draw on whatever it is you like. And so what do I have with me? Pen, pencil, tortillon as usual, and I've also got some coloured pencils. So if you're ready, we can get going. So where we're going to start with? I want to start with pencil, and I'm going to come on in and put myself sort of an oval in when I say a corner, of if I can't possibly say on the grounds I might incriminate myself. Oh, you've got all kinds, you guys. So let's put this oval shape in here. There we go. It's not too small, that is it? It's got a nice size to it. And just on the inside, let's have a look. I'm going to come in, not in the middle. So there's the middle. It's going to be slightly further up from the middle. There you go. I'll put myself a little oval in there as well, just in pencil because it's construction. We can get rid of that little bit of pencil later if we don't need it. So let's just zoom in now. You can see what I'm doing now, okay? Here we go. Straight in with pen, but of course you really don't have to. If you'd rather do this in pencil first and then pen, that's absolutely fine. Really don't mind. So if you're ready, okay, I'm going to start in this little sort of oval shape here. And I'm going to put myself a little bit of like a teardrop kind of shape in there. There you go. Easy enough. Job done. Notice I've turned my tile though, so it's not like, it's hard to draw that way. So I'm going to draw that way, a lot easier. And now on this side, I'm going to do another, but it's a little bit smaller. And it's just going underneath there. Okay. And then one on this side. So I'm going to do the same all the way around the outside here. But you see they're getting a little bit smaller and a little bit smaller until I get to about that edge there. And then along here. Oh, hi, thanks, Dawn. Congratulations on winning that tile mixtures today. I couldn't decide between all of you, so I ended up with 3, which... yeah, that's fine. I've spoke to Sarah, so she's going to send some bits out for you, so that's going to be great. Yeah. Oh, Carol, well, that's fine. You have a lovely birthday, and I'll eat this cake for you. Although it never tastes quite the same, does it, gluten-free? But it's only a small piece. It's all right. Okay, so we've got this kind of a row of like teeth, isn't it? Almost. It's not though. It can be, but it's not. So let's put this in on there as well. So I'm going to put 2 in there. Sort of in the middle there. Ah, happy birthday, Patty. So I'll have a piece of my cake for you too. That's nice, isn't it? It's nice to be able to celebrate, isn't it? It's not long till mine. We've just not long had Leslie's. And then it's going to be Sarah's. That's November. And then December we've got Tommy's and mine. And that sort of does us for the end of the year. So, yeah, it's going to be good. Okay, done another row, see? All right. So, let's do another row. I'm not going to make them too big. Of course, yours is going to be a little bit different than mine. Could be almost a little iced gem, couldn't it? Or the top of a cake or something. We've got cake on our minds today. And then, I'm going to continue, and I'm filling in that sort of shape, keeping it sort of symmetrical, but it doesn't have to be. It's going to go out there a little bit, but that's fine. Let's have another couple of ones there. See how you feel. Okay, so there we go. We've got that all filled in. So next little bit then, I'm going to start underneath this sort of shape here, and I'm going to put myself a loop in. Now this loop is going to start in the centre, see, and it joins the outer oval shape. There we go. That's first bit. And then in the bottom here, I'm going to put a little curve like that. Okay, let's go in a little bit more. And then let's have a look. On this side, in we go. Now this time you see my loops going at a slight curve, and I've made it go in quite pointed there. Let's do the same this side. Now when I say the same, it's never going to be the same, but similar. Okay. Now before we move off from this, I'm going to come back in a little bit on this one and join it in there. And then this one, same in. Oh, please don't worry if you've missed the beginning. You can go back and watch it in a little while. It's not going anywhere. So, yeah, it's not tricky at all. It's a case that we've sort of just built it up. You see, same again. Now look, this one, it's going underneath that one, which is absolutely fine. It's a bit wide at the top there, but it's okay. I'm still going to do that kind of a shape. You see, it looks like they're folding over. All right, let's do another. Now this one, look, it's going to go, it's quite close. I'm going to do quite a narrow. See, back up the line. And this side too. Back up the line. There it is. And then this one. And this one. Okay, let's have a little look at that so far. All right, you see what it's actually creating here. We could have put more in here. We could even put a little loop in there and add an extra, but I kind of like it all open like this. And let's do another. See one there, look. On this side. So it's starting to work its way up now, and I'm not sort of making it too close there. And along. And along. And let's get another one in. And another one this side. See, they're not going to be exactly the same. But that really doesn't matter because it's a flower. So they're all going to be slightly different. And then I'm going to put one, see, slightly now going up bank, see? So there's not as much there. Okay. And then not much there. Oh, no, I don't iron too much if I can help it either. Only when it's necessary. Okay. So yeah, I think that's kind of nice. I'm going to just sort of add a smaller one there, just so it's working its way around. There's a couple of little ones, nothing much. Okay. So now I can remove that pencil line of those ovals. We don't need them. They never existed. Look at that. Okay. And then let's give it a bit of a stem. So imagine it sort of feels like it's curving. So that's what I'm going to do. Curve that one. And let's draw that. You see? Sort of a curve in there. And then this way, now you might find that you want yours to sort of be more straight, or it needs to go that way, or you've got it this way and it goes that way. It's absolutely fine. You can do whatever you want to do there. And finish that bit off at the bottom. Okay, so let's have a look. Coming this way first. I'm going to come in with a curve. See, quite a large curve. You see where it's starting to work its way around. Under there if necessary, like so. And then I'm going to do another this side. Now, do I want it going off my tile? If it does, that's fine. It's got a bit of a kink in it, but that's okay. And I'm going to do something a bit similar this side, so another kind of curve. You see how it goes under? And of course, if you've got this drawn in pen, you could do the whole thing in pencil across everything, then pen, and then rub out the bits you don't need. And yes, we were all right. We all guessed today what it was going to be. So another leaf that side, and let's bring another one up here. So it sort of works its way down. I'm not going to worry about through all that. I'm just going to sort of have it so it looks like it's going there. Glennis, yes, Benji is pottering around. Seth's asleep as per usual. But yeah, Benji is having a wander. There we go. another one there, see? I'm going to get another one in. I don't want two either side. I want to sort of mix it up a bit. So let's sort of come from here and bring another one in. They're quite large leaves there. There you go. So it's bringing some sort of design in the middle of these. Oh, I know, Glennis. Bless him. This is not barking today. Oh, okay. So I'm going to come have a look, straight up the centre, but let's just put a little dot dash kind of line in there. And then on each side, instead of sort of a single vein, I'm going to come in with little loops. See, that one's going to slightly go off there. Oh, I'm glad you're all liking that stencil in the background. All will be revealed. I just wanted to try it. See, little loops. I'm going to just sort of thicken up the bottom sections there because they're kind of thin. I want to add a little bit in there. Okay. Oh, Viv, I know, I'm so pleased about that. No wasps, no flying buzzy things around. So he's settled until next year. And then it all starts again. Okay, I've got some little loops in there too. And let's come ahead and add a little bit in there. Like that. And next one, we've got Leslie there. We've got a cup of tea, Leslie. Has Tommy made you one? Or is it dry house over there at the office today? I'm going for my my cold tea, Leslie, so I haven't had to put the kettle on. So, same again, look, I'm going to add a little bit more ink at the bottom there. There we go. And moving to the other side. It's making its way round. Dots and dashes in the centre there. And then let's go up. Now if you want to put your little thickened piece in at the same time, see, you can do that. Or you can come back and add it later. It really doesn't matter. Let's have this one in there. And then, there we go. One more. Oh, that's not good, is it? No. Okay. So let's have a little look at this. All right, like that. So I think what I'm going to do, where I've got my stem, I don't want to lose that. I've got my little bit of dots and dashes I've left there. Look, I'm going to put that loop in. As I was saying, I don't really want to lose that, so I'm going to put some little curls around it. See, it looks like something's sort of wrapping itself around. And I'm going to put an extra sort of layer around there so we can definitely see it. We don't want to forget that that's there. Otherwise that flower's going to be sort of stood in midair. Okay. I know, Leslie, I've got my tea. You need one. Yeah. All right. So let's have a little look at this. Doing well so far. We've got these little loops and dots and dashes and things in. I think what I'm going to do, see where I've gone a bit thicker on one side there. And let's thicken up those lines. Just on one side. So being that I've done it on the left-hand side there, I'm doing it on the left-hand side here as well. So it's just nice to sort of do, what about this side though? I'm going to do a little bit here. Not going to completely go over the whole thing. Just on that bottom edge, see? Let it sort of fade off. And then maybe just a touch there. Not much, just to sort of give it that impression. It's a little bit more three-dimensional. And then we've got all this space here. Now, don't want to completely fill all of it, but it's obviously needs a little bit of, embellishment. So here we go. Let's have a look. I'm going to go this way first. I'm going to sort of imagine that this curl's coming from the bottom here. I'm not going to draw it there though. See, and up and around. I'm going to put a little bobble on the end and just fill it in. You see, so it's sort of come more from there, but that's okay. Bit of a curl. Okay, let's put that in. And then I'm going to add some little bobbles. Now, really small to start with. Just sort of part bubbles, working my way around. And then let's just get a little bit bigger as we work our way. And along we go to the end there. That's nice. Yeah. So I'm going to put a little tiny sort of leaf shape in between each there. Now you can actually come in and fill those in with ink if you want to. I think I might do. I'm going to see what it looks like when I've done it. So let's have another now. I'm not going to do one sort of coming straight from because it looks like a little V in the middle. So let's take it off here and around again. A little loop on and fill it in. And then as before, remember on the inside. So I'm going to continue on the inside. And they're going to get just a little bit bigger as I work my way around. Following on. There you go. And then of course those, just a little leaf kind of shape in the middle there. Oh, you probably see that. I don't think they do, you know. I think some people do like a mirror image. But it's absolutely fine. Whatever you do, it works. So you don't have to do the same as me. I do mention that a lot, I think, as well. I'm aware that, you know, I'm left-handed and not everybody is. So let's have another one there, look. Just sort of peeping out. But, you know, you always do what's right for you and whatever's more comfy. You don't think you've got to completely copy me. You know, if there's things you want to miss out or things you want to change, you can do that. It's your piece. Okay, so let's bring in some bubbles. Just kind of working my way around. We don't want completely coverage, but it's nice to have a few. And you see they're all slightly different in terms of size. Maybe a couple there, look. Okay. All right, so let's bring some colour in. I'm going to do that first today rather than pencil, I think, because I want to really look at this flower here. So I've got a little bit of it's like a magenta in the background. So what do I want to do in the front? I'm not sure. I think I'm going to go blues. I kind of like my blues. So what do I have with me? Okay, I've got my deep blue. I've got my dark sea blue, my summer sky. I'm sure somewhere in the midst there. Now this is a set that's in my bag all the time, so I might not always have the same, the same amount, or I might have taken one colour out, put it in my bag somewhere. And of course I've got my white. So let's have a look. Starting off then, I'm going to do my lighter blue first, this summer sky, and I'm going to ever so lightly go over the whole thing, which is sort of a different way of working, isn't it? So we've got a starting point. You can say don't press on too hard, but we want to sort of see where those petals are and what's going on there. So focus on this bit because, you know, some of these lines are quite close. You want to make sure that you've got all the flower in. Okay, it's a good starting point, isn't it? There you go. So not pressed on too heavy with that. It's nice to get a bit of colour in so you know where you're going. Okay, so to bring in the darker colour, and I just want to make sure that it is sharp. It's mostly, but I'm just going to add a couple of turns to it. Nice sharp pencil. And let's add a little bit of that darkness underneath those petals there. Let's have a look. See, just making sure you're colouring the petals and not the bit underneath. Okay. And that one there, see, a little bit there. And then along these sides. You see, I'm just doing that in a bit. And Viv, I think you're right there. Having that little bit of colour, it can focus you, can't it? You can see exactly where the bits and pieces are, and you know that you've not really got to completely fill everything now. You're blending into that lighter colour. So you see here, just ever so lightly, I'm adding little bits onto that edge there. Just little bits. And then on these outer ones, just a little line, just where you would usually put your pencil if you were blending it out. Just a little bit. And again, I'm not pressing on. Just adding a little bit of darkness there. That's going to come when we blend it out, okay? Not forgetting, like I've got one there. Let's put one in. So looking at this bit, Sue, yeah, yeah, I think it's important. I will look at doing a colouring session. I'm sure if you look a little bit further back, and maybe Chris could help with this, I did actually use the flowers stencil before, and I drew a different flower and showed you how to colour it, so that might be a help. But yeah, I think it's important to do more, and I'm aware that not everybody wants to learn how to colour. You'd rather just go in with your pencil and tortillon. Please, that's absolutely fine, but I think sometimes it's really nice to bring it in, isn't it? So putting that one to one side now, and my dark sea blue, and I've got to have a little bit of a munch of my cake because I said I would. There we go. And let's bring it in, pull it down just a little bit, see? Not trying to cover it all. Feels a bit early to eat Christmas cake, but it's very nice. I'll pretend it's birthday cake. And that's the thing when you're gluten-free. What you'll find is all the Christmas stuff will go off the shelves very quickly. So that's my excuse for buying it. There we are. And you see, bringing this out. So you see I'm working where that darkness is, but I'm adding on a little bit extra just to move it out across. And again, not pressing on, I'm just letting the pencils work together to do their thing. And see how it sort of comes on in there. There you go, it's looking pretty okay. Oh, a few there, look. All right, so let's bring in that summer sky again. See, nice and sort of pointed, and work it in. I'm sort of going across where I've already coloured, but again, I'm trying hard not to completely cover the whole sort of shape. I still want to bring some of that white in. And see, it's working together. Now I'm sort of working in swirls, so it's nice to do little areas there. And just sort of work it out. All those bits first, and then work it round into those areas. You see how it's sort of now starting to create a little bit of shape. So let's bring that white in. And where you've got those gaps, let's add a little bit in. You see how it starts to give it some movement there. Hopefully we can sort of have a little bit on each edge. Just where you've got those little gaps where the light might show through. We start adding those on. Again, just on, on the tips of these, because that's what's going to really show up. That front one, of course, is going to have a little bit more to it. Working its way around. See how he brings it to life a little bit, that white, doesn't it? A bit of a highlight. And then, of course, let's just follow it round that side. And any little bits you've got left, you can use it to help blend in. Okay, so I'm going to come back now to my darkest colour. And here we go. Into this one. let's come back in, and you see I'm just going to add a little bit more darkness just underneath. I'm not trying to cover everything. It's very little as I work my way in. And along there. And then, of course, just sort of in between, you see, in between some of these shapes, add a little bit of darkness there. And I'm not going to completely go over everything, but you see, coming in and adding a little bit of darkness in those little gaps. So I'm not drawing around the whole thing. I'm just picking on a few of those little kind of V shapes and putting that in there. Working my way around. There you go. Maybe a little bit on some of these edges. Let's turn that a little bit. And then this bit. See, little touches the way along. Let's have a little look at that. Oh, Dawn, honestly, give it a go. I mean, I'm not pressing on, and even if you think you've got to put 6 layers on, take your time with it and it'll work. It's just a case of a bit of patience. But look how that white brings it out. And now this is standing off from the background, isn't it? Okay, let's have a look at the stem and the leaves then. Certainly want to use my sunny green. This is one that I use quite a lot. A little bit of a sharpening on there. Look. Sunny green, it's going to give me a little bit of lightness. Of course, need my white. Always make sure though, see my white pen's got a bit of blue on it. Doesn't matter so much when you're working with green, but if you were suddenly going to work with pink, you could end up with a bit of blue in. You don't want to do that. And I've got a little bit of grass green. Again, let's just make sure that points on it. There you go, grass green. And let's have a look what else. You can use any of the others. I'm going to use the deep green. That gives me my 3 sort of colours, dark, medium and light. So let's go in a little bit. And from the top there's the darker green, straight in over that. And you see where we went darker on one side? Put a little bit of dark green in on there, okay? And then I'm not going to completely cover the whole of the leaves, but I think it needs a little bit sort of down the side here, see? I'm repeating like a dot dash line, but I don't want it completely solid because we don't want to fill all of it. And then let's put some darkness at the bottom of those loops. Okay, so I'm not going to completely fill in my leaves. Just want a bit of colour. The main sort of event here is that flower, so we don't want to take away from that. And there'd be a lot of green, wouldn't there? The leaves are really big. So let me go with those. See, just a little bit on each of those. Okay. So let's bring in the next one down now, my grass green. So again, I'm going to work over. Let's go a bit bigger. Yeah. Oh, Kath, no, it happens. You know, just sort of take it off. Maybe a single turn of the sharpener, or you know, just a little bit with your finger, or scribble onto a piece of paper. So here, look, I'm going to very gently, just ever so gently, work over the top of that line. Not doing too much, just a little bit. Yeah, just to sort of smooth it off a bit. There you go. And then, of course, a little bit of green on the top of those loops. Same kind of thing here. Let's put a bit of dark green on that. Didn't do that. And that one, doesn't matter what side, as long as you know, just choose one. A bit down there as well. And then, of course, I'm going to come in with a slightly, oh, sorry, off the page here. Slightly lighter green. Slightly lighter green. There you go. Now, I know it's coming up to, you know, November, and we all know that November is very reminiscent of poppies. Now, there is a tile out there. I can't remember the number. Again, one of you will, I'm sure. I actually drew a poppy for one of our sessions. So it was on a wider shape. So if you're up for that, you want to have a look back, and if you want to be drawing those. Okay, lightest green now. Coming in, I'm going to add the lighter green. See on the edges there? and then ever so gently work my way over, just giving myself a little bit of colour on there. Okay, I'm not worried too much about shading that in because of course it's got a bit of a background anyway with the stencil. Again, you can use anything you like there. A little bit of light there, see? And work my way around. Ooh. Just sort of over the top and bring those loops in with a bit of green. And same on this one, see it? Just over the top lightly. Again, it's a gesture of colour, it's not going to be a full colouring in. Oh, thank you everybody, that's it, 292, goodness me. It won't be long before we're on 392. Okay, let's have a look at that. Okay. All right, like that. So you see, I've not put much in, I've only used it on one side. And I'm not going to bring any white in on there because again, I want this to be the standout piece. So we've just got these little bits and the bubbles to do now. So being that I've used a little bit of purple in the background, I think I'm going to bring in my, let's have a look. What do I have? I've got my purple gem. And I'm going to use a little bit of forget-me-not as well. That's, as you know, one of my favourite colours. Because, you know, it's in memory of Julie. There we go, a bit of my purple gem. Just adding a little bit across the top there. Okay, same with this one. So, see, just sort of touches it a little bit. Let's see, and so I'm not completely trying to colour it all exactly. And then a little bit around those little bubbles, just on one side. If they're too small, don't worry about them. You see that one? Not really, just going to fill it in. Okay. And then if I bring in forget-me-not, I'm going to go over the top and put those two colours together there. Putting those in. So, you know, if I'd have decided that I was going to colour it in, you know, with black ink, that would have been fine. But I think I'm going to, you know, I've added the colour instead, so I like that idea too. A little bit round there. Not going to completely fill them all because, of course, a little bit of white pencil. Here it is. And here we go. Just going to go round, adding a little bit of a highlight in there. See, just adding that bit of whiteness. Maybe a little bit to the ones there. Of course, you could do this with gel pen. You could bring in a little bit of glitter. Whatever you want to do with it. So it's a real sweet little flower to draw. Looks really technical, but really isn't in that sense. It's going to add a little bit of, you know, more white in these areas. So it brings that in there. Okay, let's have a little look at this. Okay. So I think just to finish it off, I'm going to bring in my regular pencil. Bit of a munch on my cake. Are you ready? Okay. A bit underneath here. So I'm sort of adding a little bit. It's a little bit of a scribble. It's not really heavy. Little bits. You know, if you can see it in there, nothing much. It's going to sort of hide anyway with all that. And then as we come round here, oh, I've missed one there. Just sort of a little bit on one side there, just at the back. All right. Right, tortillon. Here we go. So, keeping it gentle, because I don't want to completely fill the whole thing with graphite, and it's going over the top of those colours, which is fine. We just want it to act as a bit of a shadow. Okay. So you think not long ago, half an hour ago, this was literally 2 little pencil ovals, and we added some teardrops in. And I've got spent Seth on the move now. Okay, you see that? Very gently around the top there and there. Just gives it a little bit of shadow, just sort of in there. Okay, so let's have a look. Okay, so, oh, it's nice, isn't it? Look at that, how that's sort of, it's quite three-dimensional, doesn't it? It's what we want with those colours in there. But of course, if you've done it with a regular pencil, you would have been putting it where I've put my darker pieces and blending it out with a tortillon. So last thing to do then is a little bit of a signature, and then you can go and celebrate your birthdays, and some of you, not mentioning any names, can get back to work, and we're all the better off for it. So there we go. Oh, it would, Kath, a lovely birthday card, wouldn't it? So have a lovely day, everybody. Enjoy. If you want to do this, but do it bigger, go for it. It would be lovely if it was a bit larger. You could do a couple of them. Of course, try them in different colours as well. So have fun with it. And I'll catch you again on Friday, regular time, for our next one. So enjoy. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.